Hey everyone, welcome to the Right Out of the Box series, my take on unboxing videos without the unboxing portion of it, as I realize I'm terrible at it. Today, we're going to be talking about my brand new Sony A6700 camera. Hope you enjoy. So, this is Sony's latest camera to their APS-C lineup of their A6000 series of the 6700. And I need to let you know that I'm feeling a little bit nostalgic here because I started with the A6000, moved to the 6600, then went to the full frame world of the A7S III and A7 IV, and then now I'm full circle back to the A6700. I mean, what else can I say? I mean, there's just this air of familiarity up to it. Just feels like the older cameras, but there's a lot of refinement to it as well. So there's a lot of unknown to me when I kind of hold this camera. Quickly talk about some specs: 26 megapixels, 422 10-bit color, which is amazing. So now I can match my colors, hopefully anyways, with the A7S III, my A7 IV. Uses a bigger battery like the full frames. I believe the 6600 also uses the same battery anyways, so not too big of a difference. If you are having the 6600 and looking towards the 6700, you know, a couple of design changes and ergonomic changes. The grip is nice and more solid in the hands, heftier. I never had a personal problem with the old grips because my hands are quite small, so it's always felt okay in my hands, but I have no complaints. It just feels even better now. It is a single memory card, SD, not CF Express, so it can be something that, or actually, well, it probably is something you want to think about if you are looking for a camera, especially for professional work where you want to be have a little bit more reliability. So you might want to go into a camera that has two memory cards, like the A7S III, A7 IV, or things like that. Other than that, I mean, like, oh right, sorry, I forgot. Flip out screen, the first in the series for A6000, not the new crazy like multi-axis screen that the A7R5 and the newly announced A9 III has, but I think this is quite handy to have. But again, personally, I never really had a problem with the flip up screen that the old A6000 series uses. You just have to be wary because the mic kind of sits here and it'll block the screen, so you just get a new like mount to move the mic over to the left, and then you're good to go. You know, people adapted, people found new ways to kind of make it work, so I never really had an issue when I was trying to be an aspiring vlogger, and I don't want to look back at those videos. Record button got moved. I gotta quickly show you this. So basically, if you see here, the custom button right there, that used to be where the record button was. And that was definitely that was an experience. Trying to record and pressing that button. I still remember pressing that button as my record button, but now it's been moved to the top. They've added two new dials, one to the front, so you can use it for shutter, aperture, exposure. And then they have a dial under the usual manual shutter priority aperture dial that switches between camera mode, video mode, and S&Q mode. And from what I'm trying right now, so you can maybe hear the clicks, it seems like it's gonna be pretty difficult to accidentally switch modes. So you don't have to worry about like actually swiping your thumb over and switching from photo to video or video to S&Q. It's quite resistant to kind of, so you have to put a bit of force into it. It does have its new menu system, which I've never really seen before. I've just seen videos of it. The new tile menu system, I think is what it's called, which can be totally you know, changed and updated and customized to whatever you want. And it's also a touch screen as well, so that helps. There is also overheating, which is something I want to talk about as well. But before I talk about that, I want to try putting this as my talking head. So I'm going to quickly do that right now, if you guys can give me a quick second here. Hey, I think we're good. All right, perfect. 6700 is now on the tripod. It's now my new camera for the talking head. My A7S III is right here. You'll realize that the lighting is different because I forgot how spoiled I am with the A7S III with a second ISO of 12,800 and an f1.4 lens that I had. Light was not going to be an issue, even with just leaving the curtains open, having the natural light come in. I was able to expose properly for my S-Log3, and so it looked like that. And now it's going to change a bit because I had to get the studio light up because the 6700 has an 800 ISO and then a 2500. So of course, it's a lot lower and pushing in that brightness. So I had to adapt to it. So again, it will look a little bit different, but hopefully the image quality itself looks great. I'm using the Sony 20mm f1.8 because I don't have an APS-C lens right now. I'm actually looking at the LCD screen because I had a monitor with the A7S III, but I forgot that this camera doesn't have full HDMI, so I couldn't re-plug in the monitor. I really don't like the micro HDMI port. That's the one huge gripe that I have with this camera. I digress on that. We were talking about overheating, and I want to say that I don't think it's that big of a deal for myself anyways. Just for myself. It's gonna be different for everyone, but I'm not really doing much long form content when I'm recording like this right now, this is probably the longest form content I'm ever gonna do. I'm not doing interviews, I'm not doing like documentaries and things like that where I'm gonna be running around having the camera just on and ready to record at all times. When I do my cinematic vlogs, you know, I kind of just, I don't know about you, I'm just this kind of videographer and photographer, but I'll do like my shots, and when I'm done, I just turn it off. Then I turn it back on again, and then I record again or take photos again. And I know that's probably not necessarily a good habit to have, because I'm probably gonna miss a couple shots here, but right now it's the Canadian winters, so I'm probably more afraid of freezing myself than actually my camera overheating. Probably a better time to test it is when I believe the camera first came out near the summertime. So that was probably a better indication of overheating. But like I said, 4K 60, 4K 120, which is the bigger issues. Again, I just sit on a couch, I kind of talk to a camera, and I don't really post that much anyway. So I mean, that probably just speaks much to what I use my cameras for mainly. Again, I'm just really happy to be able to get this camera. It's small, it's compact. I'm actually thinking of using it as my primary travel kit with this, and maybe a couple zoom lenses or the Sigma Quartet now. I've actually been informed by my friend that it's now 4 Sigma lenses, not the Sigma Trio that I had before when I had my 6000 and 6600. The lenses will just be smaller, they're gonna be lighter, and again, it's just when you're carrying all that kind of weight over time, it does weigh you down if it's full frame and all the bigger lenses, but with this, it's like, man, I don't feel like I'm gonna ever have a problem with the weight. And I am actually gonna be going to London, UK near the end of the year, which is amazing. I've been wanting to travel there for a long time, so I'm going to be really excited to try taking some photos there and seeing what the A6700 is capable of doing, whether it be video or photos. I'm probably going to take a quick second here just to throw up some sample photos and sample video, so hopefully they look good, but here they are. So I hope you guys enjoyed the photos and the videos that I took. I know probably didn't do much justice to the A6700 as I was just kind of running around taking photos and video of random things. But I forgot to mention this one feature that I'm really excited about, which is the AI auto framing. Hopefully I'm gonna put some random footage right now of me using it. But basically it just makes it seem like you have a second videographer or someone else kind of recording you and following you as you move around. So pretty handy probably for solo filmmakers. I don't know how much I would use it personally, but definitely a handy tool to have. I'm super excited to have the A6700 in my arsenal of cameras to use. Lighter, more compact. Again, APS-C, mirrorless, I guess that's kind of the name of the game with it, and that's what the appeal is, to get an APS-C mirrorless camera nowadays. And it's just so reassuring to know that every brand or most brands of camera companies do have very solid APS-C cameras that people can buy. And it's just so nice to know that APS-C is not being neglected. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you guys would leave a like for the video, I would really, really like that. If you want to leave a comment about the A6700 or about anything really, I try my best to reply to every comment, to talk and kind of get conversations going, to get to know you guys more as well. And of course, if you guys want to subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. I know I don't post much. I'm hoping to post more, but I say that every single video, so who knows? But yeah, this has been this episode of Right Out of the Box featuring the Sony A6700 APS-C mirrorless camera. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.